also said that the messages people would receive from UFOs are usually from people involved with the occult, and that is striking. That brings so much clarification to, at least in my mind, to why some people who don't belong to Christ, it's so easy for them to come with this spiritual world, to get into contact with all these crazy things. For example, in one building, when my acquaintances who were not following Christ told me about strange phenomena, ghosts, whatever, and I was curious. I wanted to go and explore, and I trust these people. I don't know them, I didn't meet them just yesterday. I've been knowing them for years. They told me about different spooky encounters they had in this building, where I went there, I experienced absolutely nothing, and I'm thankful that I didn't go there, because I want to be brave and hear. I was just curious what's happening. So then when I listened to you, it perfectly aligned. Why do some people encounter demonic or just strange phenomena, and why do other people don't? So maybe you can share with us something about this.
Well, in this book, Lights in the Sky and Little Green Men, we make the point that we're offering a scientifically testable explanation for these UFO encounters. And, our research shows that the people who have these close encounters, the 1% kind, are always people who have open doors to the occult, or they are in a close relationship with someone who has an open door to the occult. And if you get rid of the occult in your life and in your possessions, that will be the end of your UFO encounters. On the other hand, if you begin to deeply explore the occult, these kinds of encounters will happen. And so we close the book off with a list of different things that would qualify, because the demons, the fallen angels, need an invitation. They can't harm you or touch you without an invitation. And the invitation is when we seek supernatural powers through, Ouija boards or astrological forecasting, seances, where we're trying to get this kind of, supernatural power. This is where the demons can now come in and mess up your life. But if you get that out of your life, that'll be the end of your UFO encounters. And you see this statistically. Nations of the world where you have a high percentage of the population involved in the occult, you see a much higher incidence of UFO reports. I mean, I got to speak in the Soviet Union when the communists were running the country. And that was a time when the Soviet government was sponsoring research on occult physics at their major universities. And a lot of the scientists I was encountering were having these UFO encounters. But now that I went back in 1994, when the communists were no longer running the show, and the incidence had plummeted because they stopped doing that occult research. You still see people there, and like France is a country that's high in UFO encounters, but again, a lot of people in France are involved in the occult, and I've even seen that here in the United States. I've run into many more stories when I'm in Alaska and Hawaii than I do, say, when I'm in Montana or Idaho. And the difference is the percentage of the population that's involved in the occult. So I think that's what's important. This is scientifically testable, because I run into people who say, I don't even believe in UFOs. Well, how do you explain the fact that there's this correlation between the occult and these encounters? How do you explain the fact that people are being injured and hurt? And you mentioned the animals. The only animals that have ever been injured or killed by these UFO encounters are animals that are owned by people who are into the occult, or they have a relationship. I say that because I ran into this one man who said, I don't have any occult in my life. And I quizzed him and he didn't. But I found out that he was in a sexual relationship with a witch. And I said, well, you need to break off that relationship if you want to be totally, clean from the occult. And he did that, and that was the end of his UFO encounters.